And just before the break, there have been 22 unsolved murders of people with albinism in the last 4 years. Well, let's quickly go over to the CEO of the Albino Foundation, who joins us now, Mr. Jake Ekpele. Good to have you on the program. What do you make of the calls for the death penalty on attackers found guilty in Malawi?
Well, I must first of all thank Channel for following up on these inhuman atrocities that persons with albinism are going through. However, in my personal view and in my personal capacity as the Executive Director of the Regional Forum for Albinism in Africa, I am speaking on behalf of the organization and my own personal conviction. I don't believe in capital punishment, which is death sentence for offense committed. However, death sentence is not more or less is not the answer to the situation, you know. And I thank God that this is coming up. We've had experience like this in Nigeria. In Makurdi in 2013, a woman chopped off the head of a child with albinism, you know. And it's a time for our leaders to take proactive action. This
Jake,
is fast becoming, yes.
When you say proactive action, yes, I can hear you, Jake. When you say proactive action, what exactly, are you saying? You're saying death penalty is not a successful deterrent, but we've had cases upon cases across Africa, many of them facing some form of discrimination, persecution, torture.
Yeah, I mean, if you follow the human rights ethics and the human rights law, death penalty is not an option. Death penalty is not an option, you know, and I will not subscribe for death penalty, you know, for anyone. But however, you know, there's need for African nations, the AU in particular, to take very firm stand, and for heads of state to speak out on these issues. Heads of state should speak out on these issues because, you know, it's fast becoming a genocide. It's fast becoming an ethnic cleansing for persons with albinism. You know, I want to use this opportunity to call on the Nigerian president and presidents of African nations to speak out. Not one African president, apart from the Tanzanian president when we were in Tanzania, have taken time to speak and condemn issues like this. We're fast to talk about security, economic issues and all that. What about the killing of this set of people? We need a firm intervention and proactive action from our heads of state. The security officers, I have been trying to sit down with the IG of the Nigerian police. I have not been able to secure an appointment. Is he waiting for something like this to happen in Nigeria before he will take proactive action?
All right. Finally, if you can, in one sentence, because we're running out of time, what message do people with albinism want to pass across to their fellow citizens?
One, we need to be treated equally like every other person. Two, if you're a person with albinism, please secure yourself wherever you are. Be careful where you're going. Let people know where you're going and who is with you at every point in time.
Thank you so much.
Stay away from where you will be lonely.
All right. Thank you so much, Jake Ekpele, CEO of the Albino Foundation. And to other stories, in Senegal, clashes between students and security forces erupted at the Dakar University. This is a day after another university student died during protests over unpaid bursaries. Debris littered the main road next to Dakar University as students threw stones at police who responded with tear gas. Students also set up barricades on roads outside the entrance to the city's Sheikh Anta Diop University, where police fired several rounds of tear gas as well. Fallou Sene was killed during clashes on Tuesday at Gastonberger University in the northern city of St. Louis, prompting teachers to declare a 48-hour strike to protest his death. Students often demonstrate against living conditions at university campuses in Senegal, but deaths during such protests are rare. And Egypt's military and police forces have killed 19 militants in an exchange of gunfire in a continuing crackdown in Sinai. The military says it also arrested 20 suspects. Security forces launched a large-scale security operation in February to crush militants who have waged an insurgency that has killed hundreds of security forces and residents over many years. Their deaths bring the total of those killed since the beginning of the operation to at least 296, including 35 military personnel. Militants in Sinai intensified their attacks after the ousting by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the military in 2013 of Egypt's first really elected president, Mohamed Morsi, of the Muslim Brotherhood. And as Muslims prepare for the Ramadan fast, products carrying pictures of Egypt's soccer star Mohamed Salah are becoming hugely popular. The Arab world's most populous country's manufacturers plaster his image on traditional Ramadan products to ramp up sales.
Egyptian soccer star Mohamed Salah sets a scoring record this season that helped Liverpool clinch 4th place in the Premier League. Now pictures of his bearded face are boosting sales ahead of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Manufacturers have plastered his face on traditional Ramadan products, ranging from pillows to lanterns and paper cutouts, as they try to cash in on his success to offset economic hardship caused by the government's financial reforms.
Yes, it is the biggest selling lantern this year. The biggest percentage of lanterns sold this year are Mohamed Salah's.
Salah scored 44 goals in 51 games in his debut campaign and last week won the Football Writers Association Award. Next month, the 25-year-old will lead Egypt's first team for 28 years at the World Cup.
He is an honor for us with his manners and his efforts. He's built himself and developed himself. I hope all Egyptians become like Mohamed Salah.
Demand for food and traditional items soars during Ramadan, a month whose start date depends on the sighting of a crescent moon.
And Ramadan Kareem from the team of Network Africa here on Channels Television. I'm Millicent Walker. Many thanks for watching.